This video is sponsored by Squarespace. This is the iPhone 13 mini, and wow, it is like my all-time favorite iPhone, but I still can't use it. Find out later in the video. Just kidding, no, it's because of the battery life. It gained 1.5 hours of battery life from the iPhone 12, but it actually got worse for me because I switched from AT&T 5G, which is 5GE, not real 5G, to Verizon's, where I have 5G ultra wideband or whatever it's called. I got 1,000 download, 100 upload just randomly outside of my apartment, which is like amazing on a phone to be able to have that on a mini, right? But it absolutely destroyed my battery life. And as we're sitting here, let's see, it's 5:30 p.m. and this is actually good for me. I wake up around 8, it's at 12% battery life, which is just brutal. We're in the position now where we have some, good accessories. Plop the MagSafe battery on the back of the mini. The mini and the normal iPhone, the iPhone 13, is really great for MagSafe accessories. They stay on there. They don't have as slippery of a back as the Pro phones. I want to start this out just focusing on the battery. I'm sorry, it's not super sexy, but if we go into the settings and just see what I've been doing today, it's not super intense, but it's an average of about like 4 to 5 hours of screen time. And usually I have to, well, not usually, all the time when I use the mini, I have to do a full recharge about 3-ish p.m. to get through the day, which is just like, it's not ideal for the power users, right? I love the battery settings and screen time. You can really dive into what you're using. And with the mini, it's kind of all over the place because there's a lot of like charging, recharging. So as you can see, I started getting into red territory around 3 p.m. and some of the biggest culprits are Safari, Twitter, messages. And then if you go into my screen time and observe over the past week, I've been using this phone for a few weeks now, you can see what I use the most. Content creation, web surfing, FaceTime, messages, just, all of the things. And again, a lot of that content creation because you're either like a pro user into video photography or you're a mom. Because I know you guys capture a lot of content of your babies, and well, I just became a cat mom. There were so many pictures and videos, some of them not that great, but I was just firing them off. And I realized, oh my gosh, YouTube demographics, you probably can't go with a mini because your battery life will not last the entire day, if half the day. That was the announcement that I was gonna tell you in the last video that was like a big life change. A lot of you guys were just getting way too personal. Please stop predicting when I'm gonna get pregnant. It's too much, stop. But I did have a baby. I had a fur baby. John and I adopted a adorable and very troublesome 9-year-old cat. He came with an illness, so we've been doing a lot of vet runs, and that's why, I wish this video would have come out last week, but hey, we got the cutest fur baby ever, and because of that, all of the pictures that you're gonna be seeing from this mini, from the new upgraded camera system that looks fantastic, well, you're gonna have a lot of cat photos. So if you're a cat person, hopefully you'll appreciate that. So I got the one big elephant in the room out of the way, battery life. Now let's get into all the other goodness because it truly is goodness. I love this phone so much. And number one is just the size. The size of this thing is perfect. I know I've talked a lot about small phones. I'm not gonna go on another diatribe about women's pockets and the need for small phones, but it really is appreciated. And it's not just me who I feel like can appreciate a small phone, but maybe the older demographic like my parents. Guys, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to call you old, but they are crazy about small phones because they have older phones, whether it's the SE or iPhone 8, they get a smaller phone, it's easier to grip, it's easier to do things, but because of no more chin bezel, it's more screen, which is just a fantastic experience for all of the video games that they play. My dad plays, what is it called? What is the game you play again?
Clash of Clans.
You haven't updated your iPhone in like 4 years, right?
Right, 4 years.
So what is the biggest difference for you?
The size. I love sticking this in my pocket. It's just so easy.
Look at the fingerprints. I want to compare. Can you hold up both of them? Fingerprints just don't show up on your color, but they do on mine for some reason. And I know I've probably said it many times, but just shout out to small phones. I love you, small phones. Mini, please don't go away. There's so many rumors that you're leaving us next year. Just get a better battery and it'll be all good. So the iPhone 13 mini has all of the goodness that the normal 13 has. You have the upgraded camera system with a ultra wide and a wide, much better in low light. You can kind of think of this new camera system as what was on the iPhone 12 Pros last year, but even a little bit better. So low light is great. This is when I'm gonna start showing you all of the pictures of my new kitty, Mr. Judy. He's awesome. I'm gonna quit YouTube and just hang out with Judy. The smaller notch, super fast 5G capabilities, shout out. That's what killed my mini, but I'm amazed by the speeds I'm getting. Like 5G is actually relevant now. I feel like we've had a few bumpy years, but hopefully the carriers, even beyond Verizon, are gonna get it together. Super fast Face ID. You have the new A15 Bionic chip, which just makes running multiple applications freaking seamless, super lightning fast. Speaking of lightning, we still have the lightning port. No USB-C yet, which makes me sad, but hey, it's okay. You can keep the same charging brick and lightning cable you've been using for years and years and years. And finally, a great display. Now, you don't have the upgrade of a 120 Hertz display like we have on the new iPhone 13 Pros, but trust me, that would just kill your battery even more. You don't want that. This is fine, it's fine. It looks great. It's crazy that in a phone that starts at $699, 128 gigs of storage, you have these killer cameras. A lot of people in the beginning thought cinematic mode was only reserved for the Pros. No, you get cinematic mode on the mini, on the normal iPhone 13, and it just looks fantastic. This is going to enable a blurry background, whether you're using the selfie camera or the wide camera on the back. We tested this out on our initial iPhone video, and it looks really good. You can compare it to some of the Samsung phones that have portrait video. However, just Samsung has that kind of like over sharpening look that just, it could look better. I think the iPhone definitely has the best blurry background look and the ability to go and change the f-stop or what is in focus after the fact, after you shot it. The fact that the iPhone mini and the iPhone 13 is capturing all of that depth data, even without the LiDAR sensor that the Pro has, is just mind-blowing. Epic. And thank goodness the ultra wide has improved in low light, because oof, if you were filming Instagram stories or really anything, when you switch that ultra wide, wow, did it get grainy and ugly, and it was just so obvious that you switched. So the difference between those two cameras isn't as noticeable anymore, and it's just you got a great setup here. 4K, 24 frames per second, walking like normal. Image stabilization. With the new iOS 15, you have a lot of great new features like the focus modes where you can go into Do Not Disturb, and the people who text you will actually get the notification, hey, Do Not Disturb is turned on, get out of here. But you can also specify the different apps that you want for the different modes, work mode versus entertainment mode. Also, when it comes to FaceTime, you can now send FaceTime links to people who don't have iPhones, which is really, really cool. They did add in 15.1, so make sure to download it. You can now use the blurry background when FaceTiming. I would love to see being able to use the ultra-wide camera when you FaceTime. Right now, it's only limited to the selfie and the wide. Add that. I would love that. I was FaceTiming with people the other day, and I was like, hey, switch to ultra-wide. And we couldn't. The video image stabilization is just fantastic as ever. I feel like iPhone has some of the best stabilization, and also you have photographic styles. This is something I was excited about when they announced it, but I honestly haven't used it at all because I like the way photos come out of the iPhone, straight out of the iPhone with any tweaking, and then I go into VSCO and add some filters, make it look cute, post to Instagram, but I really haven't found the need for this. But if you like your pictures a little bit more contrasty, warm, cool, straight out of your iPhone, you can set it up in there, tweak the different styles. Again, I love this size so much. The iPhone freaking mini, it is just so comfortable in my hands. I don't know how to measure my hands, but I'm like 5'6" on a good day. You can visually maybe see it for yourself. If you have bigger hands than me, it's gonna be difficult to type messages, long emails. It is kind of cramped. It's a little cramped for me, but I get over it just because I love the form factor. Well, I got over it when I was using it, but then the battery would die around 3 or 4 p.m. and I'll eventually switch to that phone. Oh, what? We're filming on a phone? Yeah, so we're filming with the iPhone 13 Pro Max in ProRes and Filmic Pro because that is a big Pro feature. Reveal. Did you think I was filming on a phone? Did you think it was a fancy Sony camera? Did I dupe you? So this will actually be a part of the iPhone 13 Pro review that's coming out in a few days. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, because we're filming on a phone right now. Wow. ProRes. ProRes isn't in the actual Apple camera system yet. That's an upgrade that'll happen later, but Filmic Pro, an app that you buy separately from the App Store, has access to it. And also I was gonna save this for my 13 Pro video, but I've already seen a few ProRes videos out. Guys, the key with ProRes, yes, it's a beautiful codec and you're gonna get a lot of clarity, but I feel like, and again, I haven't thoroughly tested it, I feel like the difference between ProRes and HVEC isn't going to be insanely drastic in terms of quality, because the codec straight out of the phone is actually really great. But the biggest deal is what happens when you throw in ProRes into an editor on a computer, right? A lot of people who have this workflow of an M1 Mac into Final Cut using a completely Apple workflow, you're probably like, hey, ProRes is stupid. I've had a great time with HVEC footage. I'm fine. What's the point of ProRes? Well, people with Windows machines, people who are using Premiere, ProRes is going to be a dream to edit in. So it's going to help with post-production a ton. You're going to have those huge file sizes, which is going to be annoying. But when you're blending in phone footage with other professional cameras, it's going to be such a smoother workflow. So there you go. That's my little ProRes rant. Why did I put it in a mini video? I don't know. Also a little tip, whether you have a mini or you have a big phone like the Pro Max, if you kind of just swipe down, kind of where that bar is on the bottom, it actually makes the top of applications much more accessible. This was a problem when Safari had the tabs up top, but now the tabs are at the bottom. I'm sure it'll take a minute to get used to that with the new iOS 15, but yeah, just a little tip, right? Well, hey, we're gonna continue this iPhone 13 Pro Res footage as I tell you about Squarespace, a sponsor of this video, because I love them so much. Ooh, new location where you can pixel peep the ProRes. Well, hey, listen, Squarespace is the perfect one-stop shop for all things, whether you have an online portfolio, you're selling things online, whether it's services or physical goods. They have amazing marketing tools and analytics. I literally get a notification on my phone every time we have like over 100 people on bookblanco.com. Yay, traffic spike. That is my photo rental studio in Grapevine, Texas, where hey, you can book right now if you need a beautiful white wall to shoot on in the DFW area. Yes, I use a lot of my Squarespace plug to plug my own website, bookblanco.com, but hey, you can check it out, see how beautiful it is, because Squarespace scheduling makes it so easy. If you're a hair salon or you do something like hourly scheduling like we do at bookblanco.com, they just make it so easy. They have a lot of great integrations with third parties, whether it's PayPal or Stripe. Money goes straight into your bank account with those services, and it is just so easy to set up, not just with the integrations and the backside of the business stuff, but also when actually building the website. They have the most beautiful templates you can choose from, whether again, it's your portfolio, you want to show off your video photo work, your website work, maybe you're a designer, that means you can make your Squarespace like super beautiful, or you're running a business. There are so many templates for you to choose from. And no matter what kind of business you run, SEO, search engine optimization, is so important. That means when someone Googles you, are they going to find your website? They'll find your website if it's a Squarespace website. Guys, there's just so many things. They do great email campaigns. I moved mine from MailChimp because it's just so easy to collect and have everything in the same spot. And you can access beautiful design templates for those that, you know, kind of mimic your actual website. So it just makes sense. If you want to get started today, go to squarespace.com for a free trial and go to squarespace.com/SaraDietschy to save 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website. So shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring this iPhone mini 13 review. Was it? I think this was a review. It was kind of a stream of consciousness video, because the things that I live with and I love, I just like to blabber, blabber, blabber. Oh my gosh, I am just plugging away. I am so sorry. We also still have our beautiful Peachy Pods, the beautiful AirPod cases that are fuzzy like a peach. Stay peachy, peaches. It's so beautiful. So you can check that out at peachymerch.com. Okay, Sarah, shut up. Let me know if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button down below for new videos every single week. That iPhone 13 Pro video is coming out soon. And I guess stay peachy. Okay, bye.